And here we are with INART's 1/6 scale Joker from The Dark Knight. If you're interested in getting yours after this review, please go to toyswonderland.com. They have a fantastic site and great payment plans. Now, the outside of the box has this purple filter which covers the artwork on the box itself, but it gives it cool, like, purple Joker kind of vibe to it. The art on the inside is pretty interesting. It's this fragmented view of the Joker's face. A little creepy, but I like it. And the box itself is a Hot Toy size box, very sturdy, and it would take a lot to dent it. On the back side of the box, you have the famous line from The Dark Knight that the Joker said, "Why so serious?" We all know it. I gotta say, I really love this figure. You can see Heath Ledger's face in the head sculpt. The clothing is phenomenal. Every piece of clothing has a different texture to it. Feels like what the actual clothing would feel like in real life. And it just has a presence, and that's what you want with a figure.
What's in the box?
With the figure, INART gives you a little letter thanking you for the purchase of the figure and talking about how much they love the figure. You also get a little movie ticket that has what the figure is and the part number for the figure, and on the back side you get a little image of Heath Ledger's Joker from The Dark Knight. It's a really cool addition, something I've never had with any other figure, and I love it. So here are all the gloved hands that come with the figure. On the top left, you have the knife-wielding hand. This is for his little retractable blade that he has. The next hands to the right of it, you have the gun-wielding hands. He has a handgun that he comes with, and he also comes with a machine gun. And then there's a semi-closed hand. I guess you could use this for holding the handcuffs, or maybe the money or the cards that he comes with. I haven't figured that one out yet. The last hand on the top, all the way to the right, is the hand that you use for when you do the pose where he was holding the pin on the grenades, when he talks to the whole group of the mafioso crew. On the bottom left, you have another one of those semi-closed hands. Then you have a fist. Every figure always comes with a fist. And then you have similar knife-wielding hand, but I think this is more for holding the cards or the money. That's how I was using them. And then kind of the same thing for that last hand on the bottom right. I think you could use it for the handcuffs or the cards or the money. So this is one of the best parts of the figure, in my humble opinion. The paintwork that is done on these hands is phenomenal. If you want to go with that pose where Joker has his sleeves rolled up, you're not going to see any wrist ball joints. It's just going to be solid hands. These connect with magnets on the bottom ends. Once you get really close to them and you look at the paintwork, as you can see here, they're just beautiful. Here's Joker's metal machine gun. It is completely 100% metal. The handgun is also, and then that clip actually slides into the gun, which is pretty cool. Here's the money and then the retractable blade. That can go up and down. There's a little lever on the right. The metal handcuffs, and then the cards. Cards are a little reflective, so I'll try to get a little closer so you can see what they look like. Here's one of the Joker cards turned over. I think they're all Joker cards. I didn't look at every single one. And then here's a closer look at the money. It really does look like a US $100 bill. They did such a good job on it. And here's a closer look at the blade. Right here we have the grenades. The grenades are for the mafia scene where he's pulling on the pin. These are much easier than they look to get on the figure, which I was very happy about. Posing it's a little of a challenge, but you'll get it. So here's the base that comes with it. It's a magnetic base, and it looks like the floor from the bank scene, I think. But it's really well done. The paintwork is great, and the base is very solid. On one side it has an image of the bat symbol, and then on the reverse side, or the front, whichever way you display it, it says The Dark Knight Joker. Articulation-wise, the figure has a lot of movement. I thought the jacket was going to kind of hold the figure back a little bit, but you could really move the arms around pretty freely. You could do any Joker pose. And the head moves around freely. It's on a magnetic connection instead of a joint. There's really no issues there, and I love that. The leg can move up to pretty much a 90-degree angle, can go back. You can bring the heel all the way back to the butt of the figure. And if you want to spread the legs side to side, there's a lot of movement there. I was really surprised at how much you could do. So all in all, the articulation's fantastic. Now this is where it's at. This head sculpt is the best Joker head sculpt that's been put out there for a 1/6 scale figure. And I can't even imagine what the rooted hair looks like, but if you look at the profile shot, it still looks like Heath Ledger. The hair is done perfectly. The paintwork is phenomenal. I like this profile shot a lot. Fantastic job by INART. Now, the magnetic base for the figure can be a little troublesome when you're trying to get the figure on it, but once you get it set, it's good to go. It's such a strong magnet, but my thing here is they're trying to invent, they're trying to change 1/6 scale figures, and I'm all about that. Now, here's the Joker figure. You can pop the head off, and there is a little magnet that connects to the head. It really goes on there very well. I've had zero issues with it. Paintwork is phenomenal on this. And the eyes move, but they move different from a Hot Toys movable eyes mechanism, which is two separate controllers that move each independent eye. I am not a fan of that personally, because it's so hard to get the eyes set perfectly without the figure looking cross-eyed. So here you just pop off the back, connected with a magnet again, and then there's one little joystick that controls both eyes. It is way better than the Hot Toys one, and hallelujah, someone finally did it. I hope they do all their figures this way. The outside jacket feels kind of velvety, the interior lining feels silky, the sports coat feels like sports coat material, and then you go inside to the vests, and I have a couple vests that feel like the material that's used for these vests. It's just so well done. And the buttons are easy to pop off. And then you go from the buttons up to the tie, and it really does feel like a silk tie. You could just tell that there was a lot of love put into this figure, and the material used are very high quality, so I have zero complaints when it comes to how this figure was put together. The pinstripe pants, they had that kind of pinstripe pants feel to them. I know I'm kind of just sound like a broken record here, but I just wanted to really focus on the materials that were used were really high quality. Here's a view from the back, so you can see that, since I don't have a turntable right now. And here's a view of the shoes. The shoes are pretty standard. I have zero complaints. Now, I know I said I like the base before, which I actually really do, but it is challenging to get the figure to stand on it at times. You can have a perfect pose and then the figure just falls over because it's not magnetically aligned perfectly. I think this is a good technology, they just need to improve on it, that's all. Do I think you should get this figure?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, you should get this figure. If you love the Joker, if you love the Dark Knight movie, you have to get this figure. It's the best head sculpt for Heath Ledger's Joker on the market. The mechanism for moving the eyes is fantastic. I love the single joystick. The accessories are great. They give you a thank you letter, for God's sake. Like, they just went 11 out of 10 like, as far as the effort that they put into this figure. So yes, if you're a collector, definitely go out there and get this figure. And I don't think you'll regret it. Just look into the rooted hair version, because it even looks better than this if you can imagine that. It's phenomenal. What's my final score? 9.5 bat dances out of 10.
Yeah.